all. It's not new at all. But I wanted to play around with this exercise because when I see some of my participants do it and I'm not coaching it correctly, don't get good technique. So let's go through it. What is it? Arms out, opposite hand to foot, opposite hand to foot, opposite hand to foot, right? You've seen it a million times, correct? Okay, so this is how it's done when it's done correctly. Whew. Okay, where did I feel that? Right here, midsection. So a lower abdominal and a lower back stabilization for the movement pattern. And that's coming because my foot's coming up, my arm's going down, and goodness, my whole body wants to do this instead. This would be so much easier if I just did the lateral flexion. But then I'd miss out on the exercise activation of it. It's such a great torso exercise. I really like this. Like for years I just thought that was a wanky exercise. If you're Australian, you know what that means. Whereas now I really like it because you get people to stay still or as still as they possibly can. It's a good exercise. Now, fingers are together. You're pushing up with the back of your hand. And you really are touching your foot. Like really touching your foot, not pretend touching your foot, like reaching down. Arms go directly to the side, and you're really trying hard to keep your head as still as possible. Of course, there's going to be a bit of movement side to side. I mean, I can't stop that little bit of movement up side to side. But goodness, I'm trying really hard not to. Cool little exercise. You can mix it up. You say that one to the front, for example, and that will work. So there's a couple of things that you can play around with here. So keep the body as still as possible. Whenever you're doing this foot touching to the front or to the back, which is even harder to keep still, that's where you'll feel the effectiveness of this exercise. And that's this week's Aqua tip. Okay, touching the foot from behind. Not difficult to demonstrate when you're on land. So arms are out, opposite hand to foot. The only thing that's actually difficult for us on land, as well as it is for the people in the pool, is to not let yourself rock from side to side like this. Yep, because on land, that's what we want to do. It just makes it easier to reach down. But remember in the water, it was actually holding the body as still as possible, but actually incorporate more use of the spinal stabilizers and our abdominals, right? So the way you demonstrate is like this. Opposite hand to foot. Make sure that you're touching the foot up as close to the hand as possible. Arms out, fingers together. Just lift your arms out to the side. But the most important thing is keep your body as straight as possible. Try not to use your head to drop you from side to side. So avoid doing this. Keep your head as still as possible and lift your foot up towards your hand. So, here I've used the example of what not to do to assist people to understand how to do it correctly. Don't do this with every single exercise. Sometimes it's not necessary. But when you can predict an error, which you know most people will do, it's better that you launch into it first before they do it. It's all about prevention rather than trying to fix it. So, opposite hand to foot, did you notice I turned my back just to show you that your foot came up towards your hand? I also took my arms out here, fingers together, so you're driving down the arm, pulling out the back of your hand. So not difficult exercise to demonstrate, super easy. Just remember to talk about the technical points so they do it correctly.